So I forgot to record when I taught during morning meeting, chapter 2, the forces of motion. So I'm going to quickly read through this and talk to you about it. I am posting the multiple choice questions on Seesaw, so you can do that if you want. So without further ado, here's chapter 2, the forces of motion. JR starts the track. He's going to be in a race with some of his friends. Each student lines up at the starting line. JR thinks about what Mrs. Perez said about motion. He knows motion is when an object moves from one place to another. JR will be in a race. He will move from the start line to the finish line. So motion is the movement of an object. When an object moves, you say it's in motion. JR warms up before the race. He pushes the wheelchair wheels with his hands and arms. A push is an example of force. An object needs a force to move. When he pushes the wheels, his wheelchair moves forward. What is force? Force is what an object needs to move. So, okay, I think I have it all worked out now. Okay. JR thinks about what Mrs. Perez said about motion. He knows motion is when an object moves from one place to another. JR will be in a race. He will move from the start line to the finish line. So what is motion? Motion is when an object moves from one place to another. So anytime something moves, it's considered motion. So an easy way to remember that is move, motion. M&M, baby. JR warms up before the race. He pushes the wheelchair wheels with his hands and arms. A push is an example of force. An object needs a force to move. When he pushes the wheels, his wheelchair moves forward. So what's force? Force is an object, force is what an object needs to move. So in order for something to be in motion or move, you have to apply force, okay? So in this case, pushing makes something go toward the way you're pushing, okay? JR thinks about other things that can be pushed. You can push someone on a swing. The swing will move back and forth. You can push a door. It will close. You can push a stroller. It will move forward. And you push a ball when you throw it. Let's think of some other things that you could push to show motion. You could push your button on your device to make it speak. You could push the mouse around on your computer screen to select things. You could push your popsicle up out of the container, out of the wrap. So there's a lot of things that you probably don't even realize that you're pushing to make move. JR can also move his wheelchair by pulling. A pull is a force. He uses his hands and arms to pull on his wheels. When he pulls the wheels, he moves backwards. JR thinks about things that can be pulled. You can pull a door. It will open. You can pull a drawer to open it. You can pull a wagon behind you. You can pull weeds to take them out of the garden. And a dog can pull you when you go for a walk. You could also pull taffy, cotton candy. You could pull your friend over to jump into the pool. You could pull on Miss Laura's arm to tell her that you need to be moved. So there's a lot of different things you can pull to also set them in motion, okay? JR is ready for the race. The students wait at the line to start the race. The whistle blows. They are off. JR pushes his wheels as fast as he can. He pushes until he crosses the finish line. JR is happy. JR used force to finish the race. So, JR pushes his wheels to make his wheels move for the motion. And when he does that, it pushes him forward, and he's able to go to participate in the race. So let's say that he couldn't access his wheels. So a friend of his comes behind him and pushes his wheelchair while running through the race too. So again, pushing to go forward, okay? So on the seesaw for today, I did put the chapter questions that you can answer if you're so inclined. So have a great day. I miss you, and take care.